Hello, Dr. Sarah and my fellow friends. I'm Roshan from Group 3. I will start by introducing the topic of our project. Treating wastewater is very important for protecting our health and the environment. If wastewater is not treated, its pollution can stay in nature and cause serious problems over time. To create a safe and healthy future, we need strict rules to keep water clean. But this creates a tough choice. Should we follow ethics and the law, or allow harmful waste for the sake of profit? This is the main issue we will talk about today. So next, I'll pass it to Ihong to elaborate on the background of this topic.
Thank you to Roshan. Before I start my part of the presentation, I would like to show you all the full image of our poster, which looks like this. Now that we have seen the poster, let us move on to the background question of our presentation. In this PBL session, we have been asked to act as an environmental engineer who is working for an industrial plant in a tourist area, which also has a lot of competitors in the area and facing very little profit. As the plant's environmental engineer, we have discovered that the waste discharge of the plant is slightly exceeding the legal limits. When we go to ask the supervisor what to do, we are asked to alter the data slightly so that it fits within the legal limits, and that the bad data that we have discovered previously is merely a technicality. Now, we face two options. Option 1 is to comply with the legal standards and report the correct results, while risking the plant's profit and letting it face fines. Or, Option 2, alter the data as we have been told and ignore the potential implications of releasing the discharge. Now that we know the background of this question and presentation, let us move on to a similar case. In our research, we have determined one similar case in Malaysia, which is the 2019 Kim Kim River pollution incident. On 6 March 2019, a tanker illegally dumped 2.43 tons of toxic waste into the Kim Kim River in Pasir Gudang district, Johor. The toxic fumes then spread from the river to neighbouring schools and residential areas, causing discomfort among children. Upon further investigation of this incident and several follow-up incidents during the next few weeks, the officials discovered that some illegal factories in the area have been dumping toxic waste into the river for years. And the whole incident ultimately resulted in more than 100 schools being temporarily closed and more than 5,000 schoolchildren was affected, among which 103 required hospitalization for their symptoms. Now, I will pass the stage to Haziq to do the faith test.
Next is faith test. In Islam, Surah Al-Baqarah from 2 to 60, Allah said, "We then say, eat and drink of Allah's provisions and do not go about spreading corruption in the land." Allah instructs to enjoy His provisions but warns against spreading corruption, urging responsible use of resources without harming the earth. In Christianity, chapter Jeremiah from 2 to 7, "And I brought you into a plentiful land to enjoy its fruits and its good things. But when you came in, you defiled my land and made my heritage an abomination." God gave a fertile land, but the people defiled it with sin. It's a call to honor and protect the blessings that God provides. In Buddhism, as Buddhists, we are urged to direct metta towards all living beings. That doesn't just mean all human beings, it means all animals, insects, plants, birds, beasts of every kind. We wish well toward all living beings, Sanggara Cita. In Buddhism, it teaches metta, which is loving kindness toward all living beings, including animals and plants, promoting compassion and care for all life. In Hinduism, you have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruit of your actions. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, nor be attached to the inaction. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47. Hinduism emphasizes selfless action and responsibility. Pollution is seen as neglecting one's duty to protect the earth, and individuals are encouraged to act for the welfare of all, avoiding harmful actions. Next is professional test.
Thank you, Haziq. In Malaysia, the most relevant law regarding this scenario is the Environmental Protection Act of 1974, specifically Sections 29 and 34B. Section 29, when read with the regulations stated in Section 21, states that no person shall discharge environmentally hazardous material that contravenes with the law into Malaysian waters. Anyone who contravenes this is guilty of an offence and is liable to a fine not exceeding 500,000 ringgit or imprisonment up to 5 years or both. Section 34B, meanwhile, states that no person shall dispose of waste or give permit to dispose of waste in Malaysian waters, unless permitted by the Director General of Environmental Quality and only in prescribed premises. These two sections show that discharging waste into Malaysian waters is regulated, and anyone who does that without permission and does that not complying to the regulations can result in a criminal offence. Now, I will pass the time to Aiman and Arif for the harm test.
We will explore on the harm test, which analyzes the two potential causes of action. The first one is adhering to environmental transparency or prioritizing the industrial plant's interests. The harm test assesses the impact of these options across three key parties. The first one is biodiversity, the public community, and the industrial plant itself. Each option's consequences are evaluated in terms of health, sustainability, emotion, reputation, and financial implications.
First, let's consider biodiversity in terms of health. If you happen to choose option A, it will ensure water quality that is crucial to support diverse aquatic life. This is because maintaining water quality will provide the right balance of dissolved oxygen, nutrients, and temperature for a variety of aquatic plants and animals to thrive. Meanwhile, if you were subjected to option B, it might lead to larger environmental impacts. For instance, continued pollution can weaken primary producers like algae and plants, which consequently breaks the food chain that greatly affect fish and other organisms. For sustainability aspect, option A, which is biodiversity protection, many aquatic species is highly sensitive towards pollutant, thus preserving water quality allows them to survive, preventing extinction. Option B, which is continued pollution causes irreversible damage. Polluted water can cause eutrophication, which is nutrient pollution that causes algal bloom. Oxygen level in water will be depleted, creating dead zone in which most aquatic species cannot survive.
For the public community in terms of health, it will significantly reduce disease and health problems if you opt for the first solution. However, if the industrial plant isn't responsible for their actions, they will produce excessive pollutants such as heavy metals, industrial chemicals, and biological contaminants that are linked to serious health diseases. These substances are toxic, and prolonged exposure to toxic pollutants significantly increases public health risks. For the emotion aspect, option A will give trust and community confidence. This is because knowing the plant complies with environmental rules make people feel protected from potential harm like pollution. On the other hand, option B will breach public trust. This is because when plant hides information or break the rules, for example, illegally discharge untreated wastewater without telling the authorities, people will definitely feel betrayed.
For the reputation of industrial plant, it will build its integrity by demonstrating ethical behavior if they follow to regulation. By doing this, it can enhance the company image and build trust among stakeholders, including customers and investors. However, if option B proceeds over, their ethical standing will be largely compromised. Non-compliance with the regulation can lead to public scrutiny, negative media coverage, and reputational damage. For financial aspect, option A, which is face fines, the company has to spend more to treat wastewater properly to meet environmental standards. Option B, which is avoid fines and penalties, the company avoids spending money on treating wastewater or upgrading its system. Next, I will pass the presentation to Danish to explain about publicity test.
So now, we're moving on publicity test. Based on our research, we found out that this decision should be published. So why does it need to be published? This is because we want to demonstrate the integrity and transparency to reduce the skepticism and build trust among the stakeholders, including the public, environmental groups, and governmental bodies. Next, it promotes public confidence, where it reassures the public that their concerns, specifically the environment and social well-being, are being prioritized. Lastly, it establishes a model of ethical accountability for safeguarding the environment. We've arrived at the conclusion, where by prioritizing honesty, we set the foundation for integrity in everything we do. This choice protects the environment, supports the community, and builds trust not just in ourselves, but also in the world around us. Choosing honesty isn't always easy, but it is how we take responsibility and set a standard that shows our values won't bend to convenience. Let us never forget, our actions today are the sparks and the force that will shape the future that we dare to dream of. These are our references list. You guys can get the further information about our references by scanning the QR code. That's all from us, Group 3. Thank you.